Imagine living in a calm city, life flowing normally, and suddenly, within minutes, the entire ocean rises against you. The sound that comes before the impact is deafening, as if the earth itself is screaming. The ground shakes, the air is sucked toward the sea, and the horizon that once looked blue and peaceful now turns into a wall of water, taller than any building, more imposing than any mountain. What would you do at that exact moment? Run? Pray? Scream? This is the reality some cities have faced. Against all odds, they survived the largest tsunamis in history. Today, you'll discover not only which cities those were, but also how they resisted, rebuilt, and became symbols of resilience for all humanity. Stay with me until the end, because what happened in these places is more than tragedy. It's also about survival, courage, and rebirth. The deadliest tsunami in recent history happened on December 26, 2004, in the Indian Ocean. The world was still celebrating the holiday season when nature unleashed its raw power. A massive 9.1 earthquake, the third strongest ever recorded, violently shifted the seafloor. That sudden movement generated waves that in some areas reached over 100 feet high. To give you perspective, that's like a 10-story building rushing toward you made entirely of water, mud, and debris. The result was catastrophic. More than 230,000 deaths across 14 countries. And yet, among the destruction, there were cities that managed, almost unbelievably, to survive and rebuild. One of them was Banda Aceh in Indonesia. Picture a place where nearly everything was erased in minutes. Homes, schools, hospitals, roads, nothing seemed to be spared. And still, the city did not vanish. What remained were people. Survivors who, even while injured and traumatized, began helping each other, sharing food, searching through the ruins for anyone still alive. Years later, Banda Aceh did more than recover. It became an example of preparation. Today, if you visit, you will find museums dedicated to the tsunami, rapid warning systems, and evacuation routes clearly marked throughout the city. It has as if the tragedy was transformed into a living reminder. Never again be caught off guard. Thailand's Khao Lak also lived through the impossible. There, the waves hit suddenly, smashing through hotels, markets, and homes. But among the chaos, instinct saved lives. Locals and fishermen who noticed the strange retreat of the sea shouted warnings for everyone to run uphill. That quick reaction spared hundreds of people. Today, Khao Lak has returned to being a paradise for tourists, filled with resorts and beaches. But the memory of that day is kept alive through monuments and stories passed down by locals. The city made a silent pact with the ocean to never forget. Sri Lanka faced devastation too. The city of Gale was one of the hardest hit. A coastal train known as the Queen of the Sea was swept away, killing more than 1,000 people in a single moment. It remains the deadliest train disaster ever caused by nature. And yet, Gala endured. The city's colonial-era fortress, standing for centuries, survived the tsunami's impact and protected part of the population. That contrast became symbolic. Modern life was destroyed, while ancient walls stood strong. Today, Gala is a vibrant tourist hub, and its fortress is both a historical site and a monument to resilience against nature's fury. India also bore the brunt. In the state of Tamil Nadu, especially in the city of Nagapattinam, thousands perished. But within the horror, courage emerged. Volunteers from neighboring villages rushed in to help, setting up makeshift shelters and community kitchens, digging through debris without waiting for government aid. That collective spirit kept the city alive, in its darkest days. Nagapattinam has since rebuilt its temples, schools, and neighborhoods. But the scars remain, constant reminders of the price paid to the sea. And then, Japan. The city of Miyako faced the 2011 tsunami, one of the largest in recorded history. Triggered by a 9.0 earthquake, waves taller than 130 feet struck the coast. Imagine looking up at a wall of water as tall as a 15-story building crashing down on your city. Miyako was devastated, but it wasn't defenseless. Japan had invested for decades in seawalls, warning systems, and public education. Even with all that, nature proved stronger, but those precautions prevented even greater loss. Miyako became a global lesson on the importance of preparation and resilience. What do all these cities have in common? First, pain. All of them lost thousands of lives. Then, strength. None of them disappeared. Banda Aceh built memorials and systems of safety. Khao Lak regained its beauty while keeping its memories alive. Gala embraced its history as proof of survival. Nagapattinam drew on community spirit to rise again. Miyako showed the world that prevention can save lives even when disaster seems unstoppable. Each one demonstrates that human life, fragile as it may be, always finds a way to continue. But perhaps the most powerful survival isn't physical, it's memory. These cities prove that stories matter. By remembering, by telling, by transforming tragedy into lessons, humanity finds purpose. The tsunamis of 2004 and 2011 changed forever how we look at the sea. It is no longer only beauty and livelihood, it is also an unstoppable force, able to give and take everything in one instant. If you've stayed with me until now, you've already realized that these aren't just tales of destruction. They're stories of resistance, rebuilding, and hope. They remind us that even when the world seems to collapse, there's always the chance to start again. Humanity has the power to face the impossible, to stand up even after the highest waves in history. So tell me, which story impressed you the most? Can you imagine living through something like this? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these stories, and don't forget to subscribe. Because here, we bring you curiosities and powerful stories that show how the world can be terrifying, fascinating, and inspiring all at once. After all, if these cities could survive the greatest tsunamis in history, what else might humanity still be capable of overcoming?